Life is a book, and there are 1,000 words I have not yet written. Those are the words of American contemporary writer Cassandra Clare. Welcome to Makamba Life. And with me today is Samke Mhlongo Ngwenya. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Samke, you've been described as a personal finance goddess. Oh my God. And plays multiple roles as a personal finance consultant, corporate speaker, thought leader, and media commentator, and financial inclusion advocate. Oh my God. Why all these titles?
I don't know. I think it all fits into the one box of just advancing financial literacy, financial education, and financial empowerment. So I think I've had to wear different titles just so that people understand what I do, because sometimes they say, well, are you a coach? But then we saw you there. So it just helps people box me in a way, because I don't fit in one box.
Okay. Needless to say, welcome to Makamba Life, Samke. It's a pleasure to have you with us. As I said, you are an advocate for financial inclusion, but I noticed that you dedicate your services especially for Black African women. Why is this passion for Black African women?
So that is slightly incorrect. I don't dedicate my services to Black African women. I actually did my MBA thesis on the factors contributing to over-indebtedness in Black African females, and that comes through a lot in my different profiles. I offer my services to everyone that needs financial literacy, financial consulting, personal finance management. However, I'm a financial inclusion champion for especially women, all women, because we know that women are still disadvantaged in terms of the financial products and sophistication they have relative to men. So the financial inclusion agenda is directed at women, but my financial services and consulting is available across the board.
Including me?
Including you.
Samke, how can women be effectively be included in the financial sector, both as customers, but also as active agents in the business of providing financial services?
Okay. So firstly, in terms of as customers, I'm very dissatisfied with the way that we are tending to measure financial inclusion by looking at banked versus unbanked. Simply having a bank account doesn't say that you're financially included. Why? Because the initial financial inclusion definition spoke about the different financial products as well. So do you have insurance? Do you have a share portfolio? Are you taking up products that allow you to create wealth for yourself and thereby protect yourself and advance yourself socially and economically? So I think with the financial inclusion piece, we need to measure how many women participate in the stock market, how many women hold life cover, have the necessary insurance products to protect their incomes if they fall ill or can't produce their own incomes, should they lose a spouse. I think that's where we need to start focusing when we measure the levels of financial inclusion on the continent and all emerging markets. Now, the challenge with measuring financial inclusion, as reported by the World Bank, is that not many countries actually do report on it. And those countries that do will report from a sort of macro state level, not from a bank level, one-on-one person on the street. How many female accounts have we opened? How many female insurance products have we opened? That information is not readily available on a large basis. So it's difficult to measure financial inclusion on that basis as well, which is why we tend to just look at banked versus unbanked rates. Now, in terms of financial sector penetration and women playing a role in the advancing of products in the financial sector, you will know that last week there was actually open dialogue in Parliament around how effective the financial sector transformation has been as part of the financial sector charter that was established in the late 90s. And unfortunately, women at executive positions in boards are falling off. So we're actually losing more women in senior positions as opposed to growing them. There's a large contingency of Black people, female staff members on the junior management level. You see that starting to drop off when you get to middle management and almost non-existent in senior management.
Wow.
So a lot needs to be done.
Do you see Africa achieving its agenda, each target set for the, is it 2030? 2030 for financial inclusion, and if so, why?
Okay, so the UN Sustainable Development Goals of 2030 want to reach gender parity and 100% financial inclusion by 2030 to alleviate poverty as well on the continent. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't think so. We're in 2017 already, and the progress we've made from when the 2015 Millennium Development
Yes.
Goals were put together doesn't give us comfort that we'll reach the 2030 SDGs, right? I don't think we'll reach the target that the UN has set, which is why I started my company to stand in the gap to say, what do we do to address the needs of the person that is looking to advance themselves? Financial products and the financial sector only exists as a mechanism to achieve social development, economic development. So when you see a number of disruptors in the industry like M-Pesa, where you can bypass a whole banking system and have a currency that sits solely on a cell phone, you realize that it's not so much about wanting to have a bank account. It's around wanting to achieve the goal of sending money to someone that I need to, paying my bills, transacting. So the products that are available as they stand, are they the right products for us to achieve the financial inclusion targets we want? Realizing that financial inclusion was one of the SDGs only because it is a tool to alleviate poverty. Are there other mechanisms? Should we as a continent be leapfrogging the current financial products that are available, the current financial sector that is available?
Who is at the forefront of designing these products? M-Pesa, we know, is an African product emanating from
Kenya.
From Kenya, from East Africa. And in terms of this progression towards 2030, are there countries in Africa which you can say Rwanda, Zimbabwe, South Africa is on track?
I haven't had any case studies of African products that are disrupting the industry. I know there are sort of your Bitcoins, for instance, but that doesn't originate from the continent. I don't have any case studies, so I can't say who the forerunners are, which is why one of my agendas is to say, whilst all we have to work with is what's on offer, let's educate our fellow African man on how to use these existing products to their benefits, okay? Because if this is what we're working with, let's learn how to make it work for us. But at the same time, I do lobby financial services providers, I do lobby National Treasury, for example, to say, how do we put together products that more closely suit the consumer's needs? Because what we did when there was the financial inclusion drive in the early 90s, all we did was egg-lift financial products that were available to the high-income earners or the financially sophisticated and drop them onto the previously unbanked. We didn't say, do they suit your needs?
Okay. So, Samke, looking at you, you left a prestigious, I'm sure I can mention the bank that you used to work for. Investec is quite prestigious institution to go on your own. Can you just share with us? I've met a lot of ladies who say, oh my God, I am the president, I'm the chief operating officer of this big global company, benefits, pension, everything assured, business class travel. What informed your move from corporate South Africa to starting your own business?
So lucky for me, I didn't have those fancy positions. So, I was a private banker with Investec. I've been with the group for 7 years. And I think I just really enjoyed what I was doing. I enjoyed working closely with the individual, and that motivated me to get out of bed in the morning. The reason why I left Investec, who I actually still work very closely with in terms of other projects, is because I felt that the target market of the bank is not speaking to the people I believe need the financial intervention. So where the bank has positioned itself is for high income earning, high net worth individuals, providing bespoke financial solutions, both local and international.
And you have positioned yourself where? In the middle to lower?
I've positioned myself actually in the middle to upper still, because that's the market I understand. That is the market I have studied. That is the market I fall into. And I've positioned myself just under the Investec entry level profile. So I look at your young professionals, your high income earners relative to the South African standards. So those individuals on sort of 500K per annum, right up to about 2 million. Because I find that if you can unlock capacity in those individuals for them to save and invest, you perpetuate and catalyze their ability to create wealth. Whereas a lot of the people in that bracket live paycheck to paycheck. All they do with each incremental salary rise is they up their lifestyle. They're not creating a wealth base, which is why you're not seeing wealth transformation in terms of the different racial profiles in this country. We simply spend too much.
So what would you say is the most important ingredient for a person to achieve a financial say, security or personal financial wellness?
Discipline.
Discipline. Explain.
If you look at the case study of the Jewish immigrants in New York 1930s, in a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, he'll show you how the Jewish immigrants would come from Eastern Europe and they couldn't get jobs in New York, and what they did is the first sort of generation would be seamstresses, or they'd sell clothes, or they'd make clothes, and they would use all their resources to send their children to law school, medical school, etc. Those lawyers, second generation, couldn't find jobs, etc., so they started their own law firms. And at the time, there wasn't a lot of M&A activity. Corporate lawyers were sort of just, no one wanted to look at that type of work, and they started all these firms, which went on to become very successful investment banks, your JP Morgans, your Morgan Stanleys. And then the third generation, again, would then go to build on the wealth and on the businesses that the second generation had started. So in 3 generations, they created wealth for themselves. What I found with South Africa especially, South Africa's previously disadvantaged, we first generation in the economy that has the ability to create wealth.
No, hang on, but our mothers participated in stock firms.
How limited is their ability to create wealth?
Do you want to dwell on that a lot? Because most women, talking of women that I come across at just above domestic worker level, okay, they have these stock firms. Why the confidence in stock firms?
I don't know.
And why have you not seen that as an instrument of financial promotion?
Because you
or
cannot,
you totally
you
disregard
cannot
it?
create significant wealth with a stock firm, put in a savings product of 5%, when you've got the stock market giving you returns of 18%. Historically, the JSE now obviously is looking at about sort of 5%. But you cannot tell me that with inflation, with financial products becoming more sophisticated, with people entering into currency products where they can gain on even the currency strength, that you're going to eliminate inequality with the person with the stock fund at 5% and the person who's financially sophisticated getting returns of 18%. All you're doing there is that the gap is getting wider as time goes by.
What can be done for this information to permeate to our mothers and sisters who engage so much and there's so much faith in these stock firms?
I think that the government does do a lot in terms of financial literacy programs for the bottom end of the pyramid, the BOP, and I believe that the rich takes care of themselves, which is why I specifically positioned myself in the middle, the so-called missing middle. I don't pretend to know about the realities of the bottom of the pyramid. I don't pretend to know what they need, and I don't want to come from a remedial point of view. I speak to my peers because I can say, let's work out the solution together, which is why specifically the name of my company, The Next Chapter Wealth Partners, has that word partners in it, because I want to partner with my client in coming together with a solution of creating wealth for them. I don't want to come from a position of knowing it all. I don't want to come from a position of let me help you. It's a position of let's work together in figuring this out. I don't know about the BOPs. I don't apologize about knowing about the BOPs. I don't believe I should intervene with the high net worth. They can take care of themselves. The middle, the missing middle, which forms the majority of our tax base, is where I want to play and allow them to create wealth for themselves.
Okay. In keeping with our title, Makamba Life, what would you say life has taught you, or what have you learned from life so far? As they say, learning does not end, you're still ending, but we're still learning.
Yes.
But so far, what would you say life has taught you? What have you learned from life?
Life has taught me that your talent will sustain you. So coming back to the point of, leaving the comforts of your job to pursue this, because I believe I was born to do this, it gets me out of bed in the morning. I've downsized and downgraded my life a lot to be able to do this because it just fulfills me so much. I believe that following your talents and your purpose will sustain you. So I don't need to make 7-figure salaries. If I've got enough to live, a car to drive, a roof over my head, I'm fine, because I believe this is so much more important. And when I leave this earth, that's what I wanted to have ticked off as something that I would have done or contributed to the betterment of our race and our people.
Samke, how true is it? I've heard on radio interviews, TV interviews, magazines, a lot of women who have made it or are in the corporate world who say this tends to, coming to personal life, this tends to scare away men. The moment they find that you're a high earner, you featured on TV like we're doing, they tend to sort of, drift away from you. How true is it?
I think unfortunately, it is true, and I don't think that's a function of the quality of men that are around us. I think it's more a function of how society has raised them and what role society has told them they need to play in life. So men are raised to be providers, girls are raised to, or women are raised to be nurturers. And now when you disrupt that equilibrium where you say, I'm no longer just the nurturer, I'm the provider as well, the man doesn't know what he's coming to do in your life. I've had many men tell me, I don't know what I'm bringing to the table. And my answer to them is always, you're bringing yourself. And they don't know how to reconcile that. So unfortunately, I have experienced it. And I think it's just around the way we, as those women that are the disruptors, need to negotiate with the men we come across to say, listen, I don't mean to intimidate you. I don't mean to make you question what your role is in my life. However, understand that times have changed. The roles are slightly blurred. And let's figure out and carve out what the new role or requirement of a partner, of a man looks like. Let's figure it out together. So we need to negotiate it. Otherwise, unfortunately, we'll be forever single if you're team, I don't need no man.
Incredible. Samke Mhlongo Ngwenya, it's been great talking to you on Makamba on Life.
Thank
I
you.
wish you the best. May you have a healthy life and all the best that the world can offer you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Nice meeting you.